What is good, Internet? It is the No Justice Podcast, home to the pettiest nerds on the Internet. We are your hosts, David and Zach. Say what's up, Zach.
What's up, Zach?
Horniest shit in the
I
world
think I
still.
do that every time.
Yeah, okay, I guess if that's gonna be
I'm
your
so
stick,
white.
you are hella white, but it's okay though. It's okay though. Uh, so we back on our shit. How was your week, man, bro?
I've been pretty good. I've just been chilling most time. Just got off vacation. Matter of fact,
Oh yeah, where'd you go, or what'd you end up doing?
I just went out to Chattanooga to go visit some family out on the mountain.
Okay, respect, respect. Still sounds like a fucking white vacation, but I'm not gonna dish your culture. It's okay.
There was some bar crawling. The best part,
For the
yes,
sec
me.
for the second, it sounded like you said bear crawling, and I'm like, what kind of fucking? I was
Oh, so
thinking.
y'all hate yourselves. Okay.
Oh shit! But I heard you got on the dean's list recently. How'd you? When did you end up finding that out today?
Today, so I was just sitting there. My dad was I don't know what the fuck my dad was doing, but I was just sitting there chilling, and he came up and he's like, "Hey, you got something from the library at school? Hope you don't have a book fine." I was like, I've never even walked in the library at school.
That's
And
fine.
I opened it up and it was like a certificate. They're like, "Congrats, you made the dean's list." And I was like, "Oh wow, I should probably check my email more often."
It was fucked up that your dad immediately went to some. Oh, you probably owe somebody some shit.
Yeah,
uh,
I was like, "Damn,
got any comics that you've been reading recently though?
boy." Let's see. Today, oh, matter of fact, today, Event Leviathan came out. It is a Superman story, kind of, but
God
really,
damn it!
it's more of a detective. It's a mystery being
So it's a
written
ba-
by
so
Bendis.
it's gonna be a Batman essentially.
Right now, it's Batman, Oliver Queen, Lois Lane, The Question, Steve Trevor.
Okay, I immediately
A
hate it
world,
already.
every single world intelligence agency has been collapsed in like the span of a day.
But
One's
Steve
left,
Trevor,
and
but Steve Trevor is
yeah,
still alive. What the fuck? I hate this story already.
I don't like Steve.
Fuck no! I hate Steve Trevor. He's
Yeah, I've
the
never cared for him too much either.
he is the worst addition to the Wonder Woman mythos ever. But
What's it called? And yeah, and Superman just left for space. Superman is on the Unity Saga, so he's somewhere else in the galaxy.
hmm
Right, so that's why I said it started a Superman story, but I don't. It's not gonna end one. It's gonna end with Batman and all those other guys.
ugh. Well,
Supergirl. If you haven't checked out Supergirl, it's pretty fire. I'm not gonna lie.
still need to get around to that one.
And that's about it. Oh, Marvel wise, I probably didn't say this last time, but I've really been on this new Doctor Strange. It's actually really good.
hmm who's writing that one?
Damn, I literally was just looking at his name on the front of the comic. Like, yeah, this is embarrassing. I do not remember the guy's name.
And fuck it, I'll put it on the screen later during editing. Uh, if was that all your week though?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, my week's been pretty much this, pretty short. No, nothing eventful. I went to the zoo. That was fucking fire. Took a short trip out to Indiana last weekend. Uh, got to see some lions, some elephants.
If you
Uh,
ever come to Memphis, you got to check out the Memphis Zoo. It's like one of the best in the country.
I no, I'm not gonna share what I just thought. That would probably get us canceled before we even get more than fucking 20 subscribers. Let me shut up. Aside from that, the comics I've been reading, just actually before recording, I just got done finishing the new Champions fucking issue, and I'm a slightly upset. Best girl, Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, she's going through some struggling right now, and I don't want to see my girl. I don't want to see my girl sad. It's 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 kind of depressing me right now. Uh, Spider Man. He's Spider Man and the League of Realms tie-in for the War of the Realms event. That's still going on, and I'm enjoying that. It's Spider Man at his best. He's talk no juicing motherfuckers in 3 panels. So fuck you, Naruto fans. Aside from that, DC wise, I'm reading Young Justice. still, and yeah, I caught up on the latest issue of Justice League, which has me fucking heated. I think I talked to you about that. Batman is
That shit was so hype.
yeah, it's hype for Superman fans. I'll admit that.
Yeah, like if you were a Superman fan, that shit was so hype. Me and Rob were like, we could not contain ourselves.
Yeah, even me as a not Superman fan, I was like, okay, that's I felt a little something from it. I'm like, though I didn't appreciate the Dragon Ball reference, like I didn't want Dragon Ball in comic books, but motherfuckers are gonna gaslight that shit for a while. But uh, I hate the only thing I didn't like about that issue was the fact that once again Batman does some fuckboy shit, and there's not gonna be any type of consequence for him. It's the most fucking annoying thing in comic books. Like Batman gets so many passes, it makes no sense. How many times has the Justice League gone through some shit because of directly or indirectly because of Batman? It don't make no damn sense.
Boy, I can't even. It happens. It definitely happens a lot.
Like you would, and the only time Batman's kicked from the league or anything is when he decides he wants to leave. Then he decides he wants to come back, and people just like, oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like y'all some cucks right now.
DC loves to sprinkle their problems with Batman, as one quote unquote best-selling comic book legend would say. He's their aspirin, Tylenol, laughing gas, and everything.
You know what? Speaking of which, we might as well go into the news. Fucking Rob Liefeld, the creator of Deadpool, has essentially predicted the collapse of the DC entertainment. What are your thoughts on it?
This guy, if y'all, okay, so I guess a little bit of context for everybody is sorry. For y'all is he used to work for DC in like 2011 ish, around New 52, and then he had a falling out when apparently when the plans for Rebirth came out, and too specific on it. He just thought that it was a badly run company. He did some variant covers for them actually earlier this year, like in March, but 2 or 3 days ago, he just goes on this Twitter spree. Like, I mean, he's just shitting all over DC Comics. He's like, it's one of the worst run organizations ever. I can't believe people actually still work there. He's like, I've got my popcorn ready for when they fall. Like, it was a whole bunch. He was saying a lot of stuff. I got like a little heated because he kept replying to everybody and just acting really troll like. And I was like, come on, dude. If you're as good as you say you are, just act bigger than this. I 100% disagree with everything he said.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. Personally, I have no dog in the race with this current article or this current situation with Rob Liefeld. But as bad as his delivery about his opinions or his hot takes were, you can't really, well, you can disagree with it, sure, but you can't say they're invalid immediately. Like this is a guy who's been in the comic book industry for a hot ass minute. He knows what he's talking about, even if he is wrong on certain occasions. To get here's what some of the shit he said. Let me see if I can pull up the tweets real quick. Like Zach said, Liefeld commented that DC was gonna drive itself off of a cliff real soon. Uh,
Batman thing, he believes that Batman is kind of like their fix for everything, and I wholeheartedly agree with that.
yeah,
I do like Batman, but one of the things I just can't stand is when Batman steps out of his lane. Like a good detective story or just a good old martial arts story, something like that. Those are good for Batman. I'm not into Batman really being like doing all that shit in the Justice League. Like it
yeah,
was whatever. Like his whole 10th metal suit he just had where he's fighting the whole Justice League. I'm like, you know what? If I wanted an Iron Man, I would ask for Cyborg. That's kind of his thing, right?
yeah. Or if I wanted a giant robot, I would go to fucking anime because that suit was ugly as fuck. I'm sorry. I know
It
there.
was sexy, but as a Batman suit, it was like, dude, gold and white.
No, the colors
Those
were
are
The colors were sexy. The robot itself was
Just
ugly
sexy.
as fuck to me. I'm a
Uh,
mecha fan. I'm a mecha fan, and that robot design offended me. And the fact that it had a fucking bat symbol on it just added fuel to the fire. I'm like, if y'all don't get this fake ass Tony Stark wannabe Gundam motherfucker out of my damn face.
they just wanted what's it called? They just get on the internet. They're reading death battles, and they were angry that it didn't
Batman
have.
lost his fucking Spider Man.
They're angry that he's like losing the Iron Man and shit. So like, okay, let's give him a really strong fucking mech suit.
Yeah, um, but the but back to fucking Rob Liefeld. It's weird because yeah, his comments about Batman being essentially this duct tape of the fucking DC comics is true. I but he is kind of being assholeish, but at the same time I'm okay with.
He's known for being controversial.
Yeah, yeah, and but I'm also like I'm okay with it because honestly I'm tired of the like where you were saying that he should if he's as if he has such a big resume he should act above that. I'm kind of for the person who claps back. I'm tired of the fake humble shit. I really am. Like if he's about his shit and he is a well-known fucking person in the industry, he deserves a right to fucking talk shit when people come at him. But
To an extent, like the thing is, he was replying. Like I felt like he was fucking. This is KD's burner, okay? Like that's what I thought I was looking at. Like I was like, dude, the level of pettiness here. Like,
I mean, at least he was doing it under his own name and not as some fucking fake account trying to boost himself up. Like there was a motherfucking dude from the game industry who did that shit and it was cringy as hell. But nah. But here's the twist about this whole entire situation with Rob Liefeld on Twitter. This that story happened 2 days ago. What happened yesterday was because of all the arguing that he was doing on his Twitter account, Rob Liefeld essentially quit Twitter. In his last statement, he basically was like, "Look, I'm done with y'all motherfuckers. I'm going to Instagram. I'm tired of fucking dealing with y'all on Twitter." And you but it almost sounded like at first I read that as okay, he couldn't take the smoke that he started, but it kind of sounded like it was an open invitation. Like, look, I already clapped back at all the motherfuckers on Twitter. If you want some more smoke, meet me on Instagram, which is kind of smart if he wants to get his Instagram numbers up. I don't know. I'm. I mean, it's not
there's
like
no such thing as bad publicity.
I guess. I mean, it's not. I didn't enjoy his tweets like I did Wendy's Twitter. Like Wendy's Twitter was hilarious. This stuff was just kind of like douchey.
Well, because he wasn't good at it. Yeah, like he
Yeah.
wasn't being good at it. If all of his clapbacks were straight fire, I'd be like, bro, like I can't even hate. Like with Wendy's Twitter, you know,
Yeah. It
kind of
like
like, did your son say that? Is like, who'd you hear that from?
yeah. But that's any other thoughts on him before we move on?
Nah.
Well, here's the thing. Even though he seems to have come out of left field, there does seem to be some rumbling in DC, and the reason why I say that is because reportedly WB is planning on shutting down the DC Universe, which is their streaming service, and the only thing that's going to possibly survive from the DC Universe is the Titans TV show. I shouldn't say TV show, but the Titans series. Now, this is all allegedly because there's been reports before this one came out that DC, I mean Warner Brothers had no plans to shut down the streaming service, but you have but what's lending credence to the fact that DC might be shutting down is the fact that Swamp Thing got canceled after one freaking episode and there has been no official statement as to why, but there are hellish rumors circulating around it.
I
And
actually have heard it was something to do with a county clerk somewhere in North Carolina like filed something wrong, and the state of North Carolina I think owes them money. It's something weird like that. Like I'm actually fairly positive the show is going to come back. Did they
The
just not release the rest of the season?
uh I believe so. Like one episode aired, it was their pilot, and then that was it. There was that was literally it. But it's not because it was
I haven't
bad.
been watching it.
I didn't see it either, but according to critics and just people online generally, it was well received. People liked what they saw.
Yeah, it
So
was
that's
horror.
yeah, so people were wondering why the hell was it canceled? Like maybe if 3 episodes in and people started hating it, people would probably understand then, but yeah, it's just like what and the fact that WB hasn't given an official statement is the part that's really troubling because typically when a corporation or an industry doesn't give a statement, that means the actual reason that something happened is really stupid. Like they at least tend to lie to you about something before they actually do it. Like what's his name? Jussie Smollett, with his own entire situation. Fucking people at Empire was like, oh no, 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 we're not about to fire him. But then after his own entire trial situation, they're like, yeah, we're firing him. It's just like, okay. Uh, but it does bring in. I am slightly concerned because apparently, and this is still allegedly as well, WB is planning on launching their own streaming service. Not DC. WB is planning to start a streaming service, and what it sounds like is going to happen is er, they're gonna stop pulling money from all these other places, and they're gonna focus everything on WB because WB owns DC. There's a possibility that the stuff that was on DC Universe is just, or their shows at least, is gonna transfer over, but there has been no confirmation on whether or not Young Justice or the upcoming Harley Quinn and Stargirl shows are going to be transferred over. The only one that we know about is Titans. So I don't know. You got any thoughts on this one, man?
Oof. Big oof. Like really big oof. Like Warner Brothers. I just feel like I can say, man, I fucking hate Warner Brothers. They lack foresight and they're just like, but look, we have lots of money to waste and lose.
Yeah, it's it feels like a reactionary decision because Disney is about to start their streaming service soon.
Yeah, that's exactly what it feels like. I'm just like, oh yeah, they're just trying to compete with Disney Plus.
Yeah,
Here's
because
my thing. I just want the comics. The comic collection on the DC Universe app is slowly getting better.
mhm.
It's pretty good, and it's a lot bigger than people think. Um, my favorite feature on it is that you can go and find stories, and it'll have every single issue in that story that you can just click on.
This, by the
So,
way, this is not sponsored. We are not getting paid for this.
sorry, y'all. It's just I just wanted y'all to know that was a cool feature because that's my biggest problem with comics is knowing which one to go to.
Yeah, yeah, that is an
A lot
ongoing
of big
issue.
events recently. That's all, y'all.
I felt like we had to put that in there before people were like,
Yeah, no, I was just like, it was cool. I've read a lot of big events in the last 3 days because of it.
yes, like I want DC Universe to stay around, but I also can kind of see where Warner Brothers is coming from because Disney played it the smart way instead of launching a separate streaming service altogether on top of what they were trying to make from their brand name. No, they're like, nah. If you want anything Marvel, uh, Disney related, you coming to Disney streaming service, not Marvel streaming service, Disney, because we own all that shit. So Warner Bros is just behind the ball again, and this is why Disney's gonna become the fucking monopoly of entertainment pretty soon. Uh,
Honestly, a lot of people are gonna hate me saying this, but I wouldn't like. I wish Disney would have got DC instead of Warner Bros. One thing I can say about what Disney does is I feel like they put people in charge that at least kind of care about comics. I feel like a lot of people in charge of like live action departments and shit like that. Like when it comes to Warner Brothers, dude, I just feel
I
like none of the movies or TV shows they've made were made by people that are fans of comics.
I have to disagree with that one, man, because yeah, DC's done well with the movies and shit, but the cartoons outside of maybe two or three in the current roster, they ain't that good. Like there's one show out
Right.
now, Marvel Uprising. That's the one that has Kamala Khan and Spider Gwen on it. That show is kind of trash. It's it's kind of sad, and I'm mad because the animation sucks. The voice acting is not great, and I'm just like, that's how y'all gonna do some of my favorite characters right now. Some of the new blood. That's how y'all gonna do them. Like Warner Brothers is killing it with their animation department. Their movies questionable, or the live action movies, I should say. But overall, their TV shows and animated stuff is on point, or at least well received for the most part. Disney, mm,
Right, you right. I mean, when you say TV shows, I don't know. I haven't seen Doom Patrol.
I've seen a few episodes and I dropped off. Like I can't say they were bad per se. It's just I lost interest
I
pretty
saw
quick.
the first episode and I was like, I like it, but I don't know. It wasn't me. My thing is like, for example, the first two seasons of Daredevil, I wasn't the
Mm.
biggest fan of the newest one. I just kind of felt like it was a punching bag simulator.
Yeah, that yeah pretty much was yeah.
I didn't like that aspect, but like if you give me Punisher, those two seasons, Luke Cage, those two seasons, and the first two seasons of Daredevil, I feel like that shit's all over the CW and all those.
I mean I agree with you, but I think the caveat to that is Disney didn't really have outside of giving Netflix the green light on it. They didn't really have much oversight, so I wouldn't even credit that to Disney. That's Netflix's baby right there, honestly.
Good on Netflix.
Yeah.
Netflix would make some DC TV shows for me then.
I'm not against that idea, but no, everybody's trying to get away from Netflix because they want their streaming service to be the one that's popping. So it's gonna come to a point where people are gonna start making decisions on okay, which streaming service do I want to be paying monthly all the damn time? Because it's damn sure not gonna
My
be.
plan is to just not pay for like regular cable or anything like that. I'm just gonna only gonna own streaming services.
Oh shit, I'm doing that now. Outside of
Yeah,
internet,
like
like
Hulu has live sports. The fuck do I need television for then?
shit, YouTube has live sports, man. What you mean?
Yeah, like like the only reason I have television is to watch sports. Like
Yeah.
everything else is strictly Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime, something like that.
Yeah, I read more than I watch TV anyway, so it really don't mean shit to
Yeah,
me.
way more.
But moving on, there have been moving on to Marvel rumors. There is a rumor about a, the Ant-Man director possibly directing a future Fantastic Four movie for the MCU. Uh, I'm gonna pull up the article now so that I'm not confusing people. Uh, this article is coming from MovieWeb.com. Y'all can check it out yourselves. But this is what it says. The Fantastic Four might be coming to the Marvel Cinematic Universe a lot sooner than initially thought. A new rumor suggests a 2022 release date. Ant-Man director Peyton Reed is reportedly campaigning to direct the project, which at this time would be the first Fox property to get thrown into the mix at Disney. Marvel fans have been waiting for any kind of confirmation about the Fox titles moving forward, but Marvel Studios boss Kevin Feige has said that there will be at least another 5 years before we see any of them on the big screen. Sources say that the Fantastic Four reboot is already in development at Marvel Studios. The movie will reportedly be set in the 1960s, and Peyton Reed, who has expressed interest in taking over the project recently, wants to direct. There is no further information available at this time about the project other than the setting and the hope for a 2022 release. But it should be noted that this is very much a rumor, and Reed may have went to the studio with the pitch of the Fantastic Four being set in the 60s just to get the reboot off the ground. Uh, so thoughts.
Boo.
I'm gonna say off rip. I don't care what the pitch is. I don't want the fucking Ant-Man director on the Fantastic Four. I hate the Ant-Man movies. Like the Ant-Man movies are not entertaining to me. Ant-Man and the
They're
Wasp,
samey as fuck.
yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp was okay, but I only really liked it because of the actress who played the Wasp. That was really it. Like she was cute
She
and
was fine.
yeah, she was fine and she was also charming in that movie. Outside of that, oh, and the kid, daughter's cute, but she's an adorable little thing. But yeah, Ant-Man sucks. I I could not disagree with this choice more if they try to go with him. That said, I am hopeful for a good Fantastic Four movie. You know what? I'm probably gonna get a lot of disagreement with this one. I think the original I the one with Jessica Alba, the very first movie.
First one.
Yeah,
Yes. I agree. I already know where you're going. I
yeah.
agree.
That was actually a good movie. Was it the greatest? Hell no, but it was a good start for a superhero movie. Plus Jessica Alba's fine as fuck. And I'll watch anything with her in it. I don't give a fuck. But yeah, so okay, about the pitch. If if the Fantastic Four is set in the 1960s, how well do you think that could actually blend into the MCU as it currently stands?
I mean, how would you couldn't really bring them into the current MCU?
Yeah, it's my problem with that
Because
idea.
they'd be how old at that point? I mean, the MCU right now, time skip, so technically they're in 2020 something.
Yeah,
Jeez, I mean, no, they'd be way too old. They'd be like Cap's age.
yeah. Now, there was another article that I read, but I couldn't remember to find a link for it. It was talking about that pitch, but it also presented the idea that maybe it's not a movie per se, but it's a TV show in the same vein as Agents of Shield or Agent Peggy Carter. So it'll be an entire series of the Fantastic Four in the 60s, technically part of the
That would
MCU.
actually be kind of cool.
Yes, but even though I don't prefer the live action to animated, I would rather see them in the movies and I'd rather see them in the MCU proper because my biggest gripe with the Netflix Marvel series is that they were never integrated into the MCU at any point, despite the constant fucking references to the movies that the shows had. I was just like, bring fucking Luke Cage in there. I don't care about Daredevil. Just bring Luke Cage in there. He's the one fucking bulletproof motherfucker you got. Well, aside from Hulk, but I don't know. And plus, you'll still run into the Captain Marvel situation of okay, so she was gone. She was gone 20 plus years, and the wave off that they gave her was pretty much that she's functionally immortal. Uh, what would the excuse? Would the same excuse apply to the Fantastic Four if you follow their original origin? Because they got their powers from cosmic radiation, essentially. So, is it possible that they stay young as well?
I mean, that's actually not even crazy for half of them. I mean, Reed's made of rubber,
Yeah.
made of rock, and Johnny kind of has this whole flame on thing.
Yeah. I don't know. The
That
pitch.
wouldn't even be the biggest stretch, to be
No,
honest. But still, I mean, it'd be weird though.
yeah, definitely be weird. Um,
Look, you might look young, but you're like a fucking 100 years old. So
and that will also bring up the question of okay, if they've been around this long, where the fuck were they? Like, you can't just do the oh they
a
were in
different
space.
fucking universe.
I would hate that if that was the case. Like if you're gonna bring the Fantastic Four in, bring them in new, make them fresh face. Same thing with the mutant. Matter of fact, when it comes to all the new Fox hero or the Fox owned heroes that Marvel just got back, I don't want them to try to pull the whole Captain Marvel situation of, oh, they were always around, they just weren't in the immediate area. No. If you're gonna do it, make them new. Make them a whole entirely new thing that's recently popped up. At most, if you're gonna do the X-Men, make it a 10-year gap. And they were just hiding out because mutants are not exactly a comfortable topic to bring up in the modern day.
It should be like, because of how much gamma radiation was emitted from both of the snaps, it should have just like, I don't know, fucking altered humanity. Now mutants happen.
That, or you could go with the Ultimate Comics explanation of where mutants came from. A fucking American experiment, and Wolverine was the first mutant. Boom. Fuck it. The Ultimate Universe is the answer for the MCU. They just need to fucking commit fully. That's all they really need to do. Because they got the answers for them right there. But anyway, moving on from that, unless you got anything else to say. Another rumor going around, or actually this one's been confirmed. Mindy Kaling, however the fuck you pronounce her last name, it has been confirmed to have been in talks with Marvel regarding Kamala Khan, aka Miss Marvel. Basically,
goat.
yes, best girl in Marvel right now. Jane Foster is kind of a tie for me, but anyway, basically, a few years ago, Kevin Feige was asked the question of, is it possible that Kamala Khan's gonna be introduced to the MCU at any point? Kevin Feige never gave a definitive answer, but he did basically say that he had interest in bringing her there. So it was not a solid yes, but damn sure it wasn't a no. But just recently, like I said, Mindy, who is a alumni from the Office TV series, she has, I guess, proposed something regarding Miss Marvel. Nobody knows what. Some people have speculated that she's asking to play her or have some acting role in a possible movie.
Yeah, that would be such trash if they did a fucking Kamala Khan with Mindy Kaling. I would riot.
You know what? When I first heard the name, I was like, "Who the fuck is this?" Like, I saw The Office, but I don't know who the hell the actors' names
No, I
are.
definitely know who she is.
I saw a
I was
picture of
skeptical
her.
when I saw it.
Yeah, when I looked her up, okay, I'm not trying to shame anybody, but
She's not that
sh
pretty.
no, it's not even the pretty part. Like, I could deal with a quote unquote unattractive Kamala. She's kind of fuck it. She's fat. I'm sorry. Yeah, she's fat, bro. Like, she could play. I feel like an asshole.
Kamala's mom
Yeah, she could play Kamala's
or
mom. I
dad.
could. Her dad.
Sorry, I just threw that out there. I was like, look, if we were honestly thinking about her as Miss Marvel, then we might as well think about her as fucking Kamala's dad too, because that's about how much, how similar she is to either of them.
She do legit have the same nose as him, though. I'm not gonna front. But pretty much this confirmation is pretty much saying that Marvel is definitely thinking of doing something with Kamala. Whether or not that's actually introducing her into the MCU is up in the air. Me, for one, I'm damn sure okay with her being brought in. I'm so ready to see Kamala get some real shine. Like, Miles has finally got his mainstream shit from Spider-Verse. I'm waiting for Miss Marvel to get hers. So yeah, I'm all for it. I don't know if I want Mindy from The Office to do anything with it, but fuck it. What about you?
I mean, I don't know. The thing about Kamala, she's so original, and I feel like if Mindy could do her justice. Didn't she also direct that all women's like out of time thing, or am I tripping?
Uh,
Thing or something?
are you talking about that
Wasn't very
that
good.
a wrinkle in time or something like
A
that?
Wrinkle in Time, yeah, something like that. Didn't she direct that?
I don't know if she directed it, but I think she was a part of it.
She was in it. I know she
Yeah.
was in it. I can't remember who the director was.
I don't know.
I heard people talk shit about that movie. I don't know. Is there any way they could just get a nerdy Muslim girl to direct and write about?
Um, I don't. I would. You know what's funny? In the article that I got this information from, Mindy actually says in an MTV interview that if somebody was gonna play Kamala, it's probably better that it be an unknown actress, like a
Yeah,
like
I agree.
someone completely fresh, someone completely new that nobody's heard of. And I'm like, actually, yeah, that's probably the smartest thing you can do because you have no expectations of her outside of you better get this character right, which is
Which
already enough
we're gonna
pressure.
end up with like fucking Kristen Stewart as
Oh
Miss
my,
Marvel.
I will fuck. Don't you put that evil out there. We already got fucking Twilight Boy as Batman now. You don't put that evil on that shit.
Oh, and that's official now, right?
Yeah,
Didn't we
that's
talk about that
official.
last time? It was just
Uh,
last time. I'm tripping.
no, it got confirmed last episode. But motherfucker, if I see Christian Stewart play Kamala Khan, I am the race war starts then and there. I don't care. That will be race war time. And my black ass will be standing with the Muslims like, oh no, y'all getting this work right now. Y'all getting so much fucking smoke from me. Ugh. I don't care if the FBI bust down my door on this one. Ugh. Fuck. You just upset me when I think of
Uh,
that. Why'd you put that in
I
the
upset
fucking
myself. It came in my head, and I was like, "Damn, wouldn't that be fucked up?" And I just had to say it.
Oh my god. But since we're in the wheelhouse of talking about the MCU, let's talk about a subject that got us, let's say, excited. The E3 Avengers press conference. Whoo boy. What are your thoughts on that one, bro?
Them character models, man. Let me tell you what. I told you. I said, look, those character models made me want to throw up. At first, I said it about Thor, but you know what? I'm kind of a Thor fanboy, but all of them look like trash for the most part. Tony Stark, he can get away with that. That was fine. Captain America, dude, he looked like BJ Blazkowicz. Like no cap, he looked exactly like fucking BJ Blazkowicz. Or he looked like the dude. He had a fucking square ass body and everything. His armor looked like it was ripped out of God of War 4. Black Widow was a mixture of Lord Farquaad and the Mam person from the GameStop shit. All right.
It's
Look
ma'am.
at it. Yeah, Black Widow looks like fucking Lord Farquaad with red hair, goddamn it. Is ugly as shit.
Oh my god. Oh, okay. So as y'all as
High
y'all
as hell.
as you listeners could probably tell, Zach's feelings on the character models were not unique because a lot of people felt some type of way about the character models that were presented in the trailer and the quote unquote gameplay. Um but unlike Zach, a lot of people were mad at the fact that they didn't look like the MCU characters. And that's where I take a left turn. Cause yeah, I wasn't particularly happy with the character model faces, with the exception of Tony, Banner, and Black Widow. Honestly, Black Widow just looked like Marvel's version of Captain Shepard from Mass Effect, the female version. But
You're the only person who isn't a female who knows what Captain Shepard's female model looks like.
bruh, I've seen enough fucking Mass Effect playthroughs where people only play.
I forget you are a big Mass Effect fan. I was a huge fan of 1, kind of 2, and I don't think I got around to beating 3, but this isn't a Mass Effect channel. I'm sorry. Continue.
Mass Effect Forever. Anyway, um, yeah, motherfuckers were actually upset at the fact that why don't they look like the MCU? Okay, look, I'm MCU fanboys. I'm about to get on my soapbox with this. Y'all motherfuckers need to shut the fuck up because um the these actors are not fucking Marvel characters. Okay, when I think of maybe it's just me, but when I think of when I think of these superheroes, I don't give a fuck about what they look like under the mask. Really, I think about their mask. Like The only thing I care about when it comes to their mask, when you take the mask off and shit, is okay. Do you have the colors right? Like Steve Rogers, he's blonde hair, blue eyes. That's in a strong jaw. That's it. Tony Stark, douchebag, hipster, fuckboy, facial hair. That's it. Uh, Black Widow, red hair. Everybody else is just like Spider Man. I also don't give a fuck. The only thing, well, actually, I'll take that back. When it comes to Spider Man, I would say the only real defining features he needs to have is brown hair and not look like a supermodel. He's supposed to look like an average dude. But aside from that, I'm not trying to play a Marvel video game and play Steve Rogers playing as Captain America. I'm trying to play as Steve Rogers, aka Captain America. So I don't want to see the MCU fucking shit. And I don't know. The MCU is not Marvel. Y'all need to get over that. And I know there's a bunch of motherfuckers like, oh, you comic fucking people, you comic fans are the ones who ruin this shit. Like, no. Zach and I, we're more along the lines of we're okay with the fact that they don't look like their comic book counterparts because we're used to fucking artists switching up how they look anyway. So I don't want to see a direct transfer from the movie to a video game. I want the video game to have its own identity. Like Spider-Man PS4. That's fucking gorgeous looking. This looks plain as shit in comparison. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, also they could have just tried making them look more like their comic book counterparts too. You know, those guys don't have the likeness. Like, okay, one of my biggest problems isn't even faces, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
faces is the only way you can really argue likeness.
Mm.
One of my problems is armors. Like I said, Captain America, he was wearing like Kevlar and pads and all that
Yeah,
other
they
shit.
were.
I'm like, no, Captain America doesn't. He doesn't do all that. He doesn't need all that. He's kind of got the shield for a reason.
Yeah, they were trying to put Captain America in military gear that I wore when I was in the infantry. I was like, um, how is he gonna be doing his flippy shield shit with all that on?
Yeah, I mean he's a super person, but still, it was just like that was doing too much. And like I said with Thor, his armor really did for me felt like it was ripped straight out of God of War 4.
It kind of did. Now that
His
you say it,
his his comic book armor that he currently wears, I really like.
yeah,
Like
it's
y'all
got a
could have
nice drip.
easily put that in there. Yeah, like you could have easily put that in there, or even what he wears in Infinity War. That in there. Fucking Chris Evans, like Thor has been tall, blonde, and worn the same armor for a long time.
Yeah,
Right? You can't if you put those in there, Chris Evans can't say, "Oh, that's my likeness." Like, no, Thor has been tall, blonde, and muscular for a very long time.
you mean Hemsworth?
Oh, I said Evans, didn't
Yeah,
I? They're both buff people.
yeah, yeah. I get you. I feel you. But honestly, I was wanting more of a personal identity with the costumes. Like I liked what they did with the PS4 Spider-Man game. That shit was that Spider-Man suit is arguably my favorite suit now.
It is so clean. That
It
spider
is
suit is
it
clean
is
as hell.
so fucking good. I was hoping that this new Avengers game was gonna give us some new drip with these goddamn characters. Iron Man, you can't. Iron Man and Hulk, you can't really do anything with them. But Black Widow, Thor, and Captain America, at least, you could have switched up their fucking costumes a little bit. Like, well, they did Captain America's. It just looks trash. Um,
Still stuck on this Lord Farquaad ass Black Widow.
oh, why you put that in my damn head? Now I gotta fucking
Bro,
meme that
go
shit.
look back at her and you're gonna be like, holy shit, that
I
is Lord Farquaad.
I don't want to. I don't want to.
When someone said that, that's like I was sticking with it. It looked like the ma'am person from McDonald's,
Uh
not from McDonald's, from GameStop. You know,
huh.
I was like, oh yeah, totally. And then someone said Lord Farquaad. I was like, holy shit, that is Lord Farquaad.
But here's the other thing that here's the one other thing that I didn't like about what I saw from that E3 conference. It's just the MCU roster. I don't like that. I maybe it's just my MCU fatigue coming out, but I don't want to see those characters right now.
Imagine
Especially
getting to play Black Panther in a game.
yes, and it's not
With
Marvel
some
Ultimate
good
Alliance.
fighting. Yeah, like some good fighting. Black Panther on like some Arkham Knight type shit, right? Kind of like how Spider Man was, like a fighting game, kind of like that.
Mm-hmm. Like yeah, I
But
wanted
no,
we get MC like I yes, they confirmed that there will be more heroes coming in. Also, the game is going to be a game as a service, meaning that it's going to be have an online functionality. Basically, it's going to be like Warframe, Destiny, and what's another one? Anthem. It's going to be one of those type of games. So, and the
mm,
developers said that every new hero is going to be free. So what that translates to is all the cosmetic shit. Like,
mm-hmm.
okay, this is what they said verbatim. All future heroes that enter the game will be free, outside of the story mode and shit. You'll be able to play with your friends in co-op, and I think it's 4 people max. Uh, Also, there will be no loot boxes. There will be no pay to win scenarios. What that translates to, though, is all cosmetics will more than likely have to be paid for. So if you want to see your favorite superhero in a different costume, be it the classics or be it in some of the other alternate universe variants, yeah, you're probably gonna have to come out of pocket for those. So be prepared for that. Uh, and it's just I don't know how I feel about this because the conference, as much as they were talking about it and hyping it up, they did not show gameplay. That's the thing that's really concerning to me right now. Because the way they described it, it just sounds like Marvel Ultimate Alliance. And yeah, I enjoyed those games, but I was actually looking more for a Spider-Man game or a Spider-Man like game. I want to see something in depth. I want to see I don't know. They're claiming it's going to be an RPG style game, but also as a
If I
game.
get to make my own character and his own powers and stuff like that, and it had an interesting progression system and stuff like that, I'm sure I'd be down. Hoping
Right.
like if they were just like, hey, you're an Inhuman and you get to build your powers. Man, I'd build a Superman so quick.
Oh, but speaking of humans though, there's a there's been 2 things that have been circulating around this game. One, uh there is there is a rumor of a possible Spider-Man PS4 crossover. Uh the developers of the Avengers games have not confirmed it. They have not said it in any type of words. They basically say like, look, we cannot talk about that at this time. So a non-confirmation is basically a confirmation for people.
Well, look. When in Spider Man, I read this somewhere, but I do remember this. If you have you done all the photo things?
Yeah, I know what you're going to talk about.
You take the
The
one of Avengers Tower. He's like, hey, aren't they on like the West Coast or something?
Yeah,
And this game is in San Francisco.
yes, where they're where they the setting is called it starts with what they call it A Day, the grand opening of Avengers West Coast or some shit.
I don't
Uh,
know.
but the other rumor that which is involves the Inhumans is in the trailer for the Avengers game. The new West Coast headquarters was apparently powered by something called a Terrigen crystal. Now, like I was telling you when we were talking about this shit offline, Terrigen crystals do not pop up unless you're talking about Inhumans. And if you're
Yeah,
talking
that's
about
why I said Inhumans, is because I was
yeah,
like, that's what I thought they were getting at.
yeah, and if you're talking about Inhumans, you're talking about fucking Kamala Khan, which I s- I almost I'm gonna say with 90% certainty she is gonna be in that game. The reason being is because during the trailer there is a narrator, a female narrator, and one of the lines that she put in there was she have you ever met your heroes? And she sounds young, so I'm like this has got to be Kamala. That
Yeah,
there
I was thinking that too. But you know who it actually kind of sounded like to me? And it might just be me, but it sounded to me like the girl who voiced Mary Jane in the Spider-Man game.
it could be the same voice actor.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm not saying it's Mary Jane, but to me
Mm.
it sounded like the same person.
Yeah, it could definitely be the same voice actor. I mean, that voice actor, she gets around a lot. Not like that,
Yeah.
but she gets a lot of jobs. She gets a lot of jobs. Don't come at me, people. Uh, yeah. So fingers crossed, Kamala Khan gets into Avengers game, and fingers crossed that this game is actually good because from what we saw, there's really not much to really say positive about it outside of it exists.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it's good. It's just so far when it comes to superhero games, the only things I'm sold on right now is Batman and Spider-Man games.
Yeah, yeah, that
I
was.
always enjoyed those games. There's a Superman game that came out for like 360. At the time, I enjoyed it, but that was just because I was like bored and liked using Superman's powers. It was not a
Mm,
good game. And the Iron Man and Thor game, I didn't buy the Thor game because I wasn't dumb, but the Iron Man game came out when I was like a little kid. And so I played that. That was trash. I mean, the powers are fun, but the game's trash. So if you're going to take away from anything that I'm saying is we might get cool power displays, but I'm afraid the game might just be trash.
yeah. Wait, wasn't there a confirmation from the people who made Batman that they were going to try their hand at a Superman game?
I haven't read any 100% confirmation, but there have been a lot of rumors about it. I've heard data miners, shit like that. But I think they actually said they might just do another Batman game.
I'm kind of.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Here's my problem. If I'm gonna get a Superman game, dude, I want it to be one that explores his powers very well, has a good physics engine, like actually focuses on all the other characters and has like, good cutscenes, shit like that.
Hmm.
So, like, if they're gonna make one, because they were talking about when it would have released, it would have taken like a year and a half, dude. That's a game for me that y'all need to work on that for a couple of years.
Yeah, like
Because
I'm
I don't
good.
want just another bad Superman game. I need like them to quit putting out bad products in his name. You know,
I
something
mean,
cool
I hear
because
you.
y'all are doing a disservice to people that don't read comics.
Uh,
Everyone thinks he's boring and lame because y'all keep portraying him as being boring and lame.
yeah, I kind of felt that way about some of the Spider-Man games that came out, so I can get what you're saying on that. I don't know. A Superman game feels like it's doomed to fail because one of the key aspects that everybody's gonna want to do is fly, and I have yet to find a game. I have yet to find a game who did flying well. Well, Anthem came close, but
You could only do it for so long.
right, and the novelty of it wears off after a certain point. I don't know. I feel okay. Let's play. Let's play armchair video game developer. I would actually think that a good Superman game would probably be set when he is still learning how to use his powers.
Yes.
Like, did you ever watch the cartoon or ever read the comic Superboy and the Legion of Heroes?
Yes. I just read the Jeff Johns Superman Secret Origin, which kind
Hmm.
of covers over that, kind of goes back over that. And yes, it was very interesting.
Yeah, I think that would probably be the best
Boring.
period because you can get around the flying aspect and do it kind of like how Anthem did, where it's on a time limit, but the time limit is the way you can fly is because of the ring that the Legionnaires have. So instead of Superman just inherently knowing how to fly, but having the game mechanics make it stupid that you're on a time limit, be like, look, here's a Legionnaire ring. You can fly or quote unquote glide for a short amount of time before you have to land. And then you just focus on the other powers from there. I think that would be fire.
I just think one that starts off with him going to Metropolis, whether his
Hmm.
parents are alive or not, that doesn't bother me. But one of the biggest things that a lot of properties that non-comic book properties do not have about Superman is that he has a good supporting cast, right?
Yep.
Like I don't know if I can blame Amy Adams, but her like her, take on Lois Lane, how she performs,
Oh no, you could blame her.
straight trash. It's so docile. Like Lois is really fiery.
Yeah, she got a mouth on her.
So that's one of my problems there. Jimmy's actually one of Clark's friends. They're really good friends. one of the few people who Clark consistently tells his secret to.
Right.
Is like a likable J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Kat, she's got what she's got. But then you got the whole Lane family. Like, he's got an interesting supporting cast.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I want you to focus on. Is focus on actual cutscenes and making me care about them. My favorite thing
Right.
about the Spider-Man game is I was actually fairly invested in every character.
Yeah, until you got into the Mary Jane portion of the gameplay, then you're like, why the fuck is this bitch making me get away from playing Spider-Man?
Yeah, I was just like, even with Miles, I really like Miles, but I was just like,
Yeah, that was the only fuck up they did with those characters by giving them those stupid game modes. Like, I don't want to do this. Y'all taking away my web swinging. Give me back my
yeah.
web swinging.
Yeah, and that was one of the things that was one of the reasons the Spider-Man game was so good is because they fucking nailed web slinging.
Yeah, but to be fair to any Superman game or any game that involves flying, web swinging and flying involve different types of physics. So, and plus they had the model. Spider-Man PS4 had the model to base it off of. Spider-Man 2, the video game, was arguably the best web swinging there was prior to this point. So all they had to do was just improve on that really, and not make him web swing from thin air.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I mean, they have done that Superman game on Xbox. It was pretty cool. Like, it covered his basic. He had super breath. He had the cold breath. He had heat vision.
Mm.
He had the super strength. One of the cool things is like if you held one trigger when you're moving, he sprinted super fast. One thing I'd like them to explore is maybe instead of just doing the super speed where you can't control it, have it where you can slowly upgrade like his perception to make it slow down time or something like that.
Oh, kind of like how what's the game? Skyrim. You could slow down time, but you move at
Yeah,
normal speed.
or
Okay, I can see that.
at
Uh,
least I don't know something. The problem I think is like having to fight strong people.
yeah. Like if you set up Superman when he's in the early stages of his hero career, how deep into his villain roster do you really want to go?
Exactly.
Like,
It's like because you could go deep, but like I don't know. It's a thing with consistency for me.
yeah, it's like if you got
Mongol. I don't know why. I'm probably the only guy that would want to see Mongol.
no, I would definitely see Mongo put Superman on the fight pit planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be fucking dope actually. Make it a battle arena where you could grind out levels and shit. Anything else about this fucking E3 or any other video games that yeah, since we're talking about E3, were there any other games that caught your
Cyberpunk
interest?
was pretty much it.
I think we could call it there unless you want to
Yeah.
add anything.
We can call it.
Well, all right then. This has been another episode of the No Justice Podcast. Follow us on our social media links in the description down below, and we will see you when we see you. See you later, everybody.
Peace.
Peace.